Transgressive art is art that aims to outrage or violate basic moral values and norms, pushing boundaries and testing limits. From an academic perspective, many traces of transgression can be found in any art, which by some is considered offensive because of its shock factor. Transgressional works share some themes with art that deals with psychological dislocation and mental illness. Transgressive activities have become widespread in modernity, perhaps due to the moral and existential uncertainties of modern life, coupled with the rise of leisure, the mass media, and urban life.
You have to start with really questioning yourself. What is your purpose when you're born in your life, generally? How you know you're an artist? That's a really important question, and I always ask when I teach young artists, how you know you're an artist? What makes you an artist? What is the difference between a normal profession and being art? And I always believe that art is like a breeding. If you actually, you don't question breeding. If you don't breed, you just die. So if you have this urge to create things, and you create them, and you wake up in the morning, and you're obsessed, and you're in fever, and you have to do things, you're pretty much an artist. But it doesn't make you a good artist, it just makes you an artist.
Since the late 90s, a new group of transgressive artists have emerged, such as Marina Abramovic and the Canadian artist Rick Gibson, who made a pair of earrings out of human fetuses. They were exhibited at the Young Unknowns Gallery in South London. But after much uproar, the sculpture was seized by the Metropolitan Police Service. Because of this incident, Gibson was expelled from Goldsmiths College, where he was studying postgraduate art, design and technology. In 1988, he performed A Cannibal of England, where he ate hors d'oeuvres made out of human tonsils. Of course, that pales in comparison to Carnivore, where Gibson munched on a pair of testicles. Marina Abramovic draws strength from nature and ancient culture. Her quest turned into a personal investigation of physical limits and mental potential, as she attempts to gain control of her body and mind to actually transcend matter through performance with other works of art. In her first performance at 27, Abramovic explored the idea of ritual by playing a knife game on camera, stabbing the surface between her sprawled fingers with a knife and occasionally hurting herself. She would then watch the video recording of the violence and attempt to replicate it. Subsequent performance included her exploration of consciousness through the ingestion of pills for catatonia and depression. Another comprised of a 1974 incarnation of her MoMA performance, where Abramovic sat passively at a table littered with objects for 6 hours, inviting the audience to put them to use on her. Of this piece, Abramovic said that what she learned was if you leave it up to the audience, they can kill you. And she said she felt really violated. They said they cut her clothes and stuck rose thorns into her stomach. In 1976, Abramovic met Uli, a West German artist who had become her lover and collaborator for the next 12 years. The duo fell into impersonal abscess, losing their selfhoods and attempting to become a single entity through arresting performance such as breathing in and out, where they locked mouths and breathed into each other's exhaled hair, eventually filling their lungs with carbon monoxide and falling unconscious. By 1988, their romance had run its course. In typical atypical fashion, the pair decided to part by walking opposite ends of the Great Wall of China until they met in the middle and then said goodbye. On the opening night of Abramovic's retrospective in 2010, the erstwhile lovers were reunited. Uli approaches, and Abramovic, a veteran of such difficult performances, looks up to what may have been the single most unexpected sight of the night, jolting her dignified composure. The reunion is a deeply tender scene.
Tu ne bouges absolument pas. Tu restes dans ton lit. Tu refermes les yeux.
Street artist Banksy became popular in the 1990s for hanging fake paintings in art museums. He is an anonymous artist who somehow seems to skirt authorities and intelligence agencies of the world at every turn, and still have his work sell for millions of dollars to art collectors after he delivers his art like London Phone Booth in 2006.
What do you think of it?
Someone is annoyed with BT telephones.
The idea was simple: produce a new piece of artwork every day for a month.
The anonymous British graffiti artist known as Banksy is both delighting and annoying the people of New York with his unique brand of artwork.
The artist converted the inside of a New York delivery truck to resemble a landscape painting, an attempt, he said, to deliver calm. Many Banksy fans wanted to leave him messages of support and tracking devices.
You running up to somebody's property or public property and defacing it is not my definition of art.
Day 11 reveals a piece inspired by the meatpacking district. On day 13 in Central Park, the artist set up a stall selling original paintings with a street value of $500,000. But without any of the art world hype, the results? A total take of $420. Day 16 was a performance art piece about low wages in the fast food industry, which prompted 4 people to complain about labor violations for the actor. Although it took place entirely on the street, the show found its true resonance online, becoming less an art show than a citywide full-contact game of hide-and-seek. Day 31. At last, Banksy creates his own bubble letter tag out of actual bubble letters. Amazing.
Transgressive art extends beyond the gallery and onto the streets, with Banksy and other graffiti artists. This reaches to a wider audience because it is everywhere. Banksy, a well-known Bristolian graffiti artist, brought a new dimension to the term street art when he graffitied in Palestine in the latest addition to his ever-expanding global presence. And what a perfect place to make a statement about political strife via urban network. Since Israel became a nation, a constant state of unrest or even armed conflict has become the norm between Israel and Palestine. What better place could Banksy choose to offer societal and political statements than one of the most famous walls in the world, the Palestine Wall, more commonly called the Israeli West Bank Barrier. This wall serves as a political symbol and functions to separate 2 conflicting opponents. Some Israelis claim that the wall gives protection against possible terrorism from Palestine, but even more see the wall as a separation between 2 cultures and religions. 21st century transgressive art sets out to shock and outrage society in a way that provokes thought and uncomfortability. It is in human nature to want to push boundaries in every aspect of life, so it's not surprising that in modern society this is an up-and-coming aspect of artistic culture. As Einstein once said, once we accept our limits, we can go beyond them.